Like you can't get in all locations and get that kind of reception. And then people are going to be more open. Say if you were just like doing some sort of political campaigning or like social action or something, they're not going to be as receptive as I'm a candidate for blah, blah, blah. They're going to be more willing to listen to your platform or listen to what you have to say. Yeah. So it's a voice. It gives you a voice.
Yeah, and the opportunity is great because I think a lot of people are really angry about the situation, and so that 30% turnout is hopefully would turn into 60%. I mean, if people have a reason to vote, they will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, look at the flood of letters that are going to the Senate over that Bill S-2333. That's showing that the level of awareness about what's going down is rising rapidly, and that would be all the way through the community. So if we can tap into that, that could be a real
we were discussing this tonight, and I don't know if you guys have been watching what's been going on in the Parliament, but there are MPs stepping up all over the House. And you know what, guys? I think that we've given those MPs who are not part of the WF, who are not part of the UN, we've given them a voice because we're telling them, deal with this. We know what's going on. Trudeau's getting hammered right now, guys. He's getting hammered. Yes. And I think that it may be that we have opened up the MP's eyes that we want change, and that we are not that because here's the thing, a lot of politicians think, and it's very obvious if you look at the campaigning, they're wearing masks, they're 6 feeting, they're doing all this stupid shit, and we don't want that. We want people to take off the damn mask, be a human, be an adult, stand up for yourself. And what we've done by emailing these guys is told them, you're not alone. If you're against this, so are we. And now they are busting his ass. He is losing his shit. He swore in the House, apparently. I mean, that could be that could be a psyops. But he took off his mask and mouthed off at mainstream media, which normally he doesn't because he has no shame. And so, guys, I think that when we push back, we're going to hit the shit people, but we're also going to inspire the people that are awake or that are not part of it, because now they realize that their constituents don't want it. So it's working both ways. So I'm going to give a big round of applause to anyone who has sent letters and emails. And you know what? Even if you don't want to go through the trouble of doing snail mail, even just emailing them is good, because we want them to see the volume. So do what you can, any way that you can, but you realize that not only are you hammering the assholes, but you're uplifting the good guys. So guys, it's 9:55. I'm going to put the Facebook, I'm removing these people that are sitting here because they clearly want in, and I'm not going to do that because I'm tired of the nonsense tonight. So I'm going to put Scott's email in our Facebook group in here again. And then if you guys are interested in joining, and parents, even if you're not in Ottawa, if there's any parents on here that are having the same issues or want to, connect with other parents that are standing up for their children, collaborate with each other, just have a group to connect with. Join the meeting on Monday that Scott's going to be hosting. The information is on his Facebook page. He'll be running the show. Connect with each other, build your networks, and learn how to collectively go after these people that are abusing your children, because that's exactly what it is. It's child abuse. Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor to questions. And Tara, you've had your hand up for a while there. If you want to unmute and ask your question.
Hi, it's not really a question. I just give a little background. I'm an urban planner, and I've been a planner in Nova Scotia for a couple of years when I first graduated from university. But then I decided to stay home because I was seeing a lot of corruption, back then. That was 20 years ago. But one of the things that I see a lot of is, and it's a suggestion, it's a really good piece of information for anybody that lives in a city. You can go on their website and look up the organizational chart. And I don't think you can see anything here. Oh, no, you can't see it. But Halifax Regional Municipality has, if you can see that, it's got the citizens are right at the top. So the structure of a council, of a city, is at the top of the organizational chart is the citizens of that city. Same with any municipality, any provincial government, any federal government. The people that are at the top are the people themselves. And so, so the councillors and the mayor and the CEO, everybody, they're below you as the citizen. Mm-hmm. So finding that piece of that document is a really important thing to have in your hand when people are challenging you on something, because it's actually an official thing. So when cities and municipalities, small towns, everything, when they develop their municipal planning strategy or anything like that, they have a visioning statement, and usually, what they do is they consult the public. It's a public hearing, and they come up with those visioning statements through that, and then they will build their organizational chart from that, and it's based with the public at the top of the organizational chart. They're answering to you. And so when I'm a planner going into council and I'm bringing forward a project for council's determination, for their decision, I point. I'm a representative, kind of a lawyer, because we deal with the policies and the bylaws and all the laws that go on in the municipality. I am a representative for the people. So based on the visioning statements and everything that we've done up till that time, that has been organized by community groups, that visioning statement is that's my guiding principle in terms of how I bring that project forward, and whether or not we as staff support or not support these types of developments or anything that goes forward. So we do certain things to do with community work, but we also do developments, buildings, that kind of thing, streets, transportation. I mean, it's a kind of jack of all trades type of profession. So you have to know a lot about a little bit about a lot of things. So one of the big things is putting these things forward and actually representing the people. So in the case of, let's just say, when you're, wanting to either run or whatever, I think that's a great idea. But I think another additional thing that we could be doing is setting up watchdog groups. So while I was a planner for many towns, they had different sort of interest groups, community groups that would come in and speak on issues. And if we had watchdog groups in all of our cities and towns across this country, we would be able to keep, it's a watchdog. We would be able to keep an eye on, hold them to account for the things that they're doing. Because I've seen it many, many times. They're very effective. And you only need 25 to 40, 50 people, as a group, but not necessarily representing in council. There would be a speaker, a person that would speak for them, and you just registered to speak during council time, and and you can do it on any issue. And as long as you bring it forward and you follow the Robert's Rules of Procedure and you're respectful, and you get heard. So, and that's one thing that hasn't been used. I think the biggest thing that's gone on so far is that we've allowed, I guess, that sort of saying where they've been given an inch and they take a mile. Our apathy has allowed them to take that mile, because we're not standing at those council meetings or at those provincial legislative meetings, and to witness what they're doing, because that's what that is, holding them to account, standing there and saying, no, we see what you're doing. And so, there would be divisive issues that would happen in our cities and our municipalities, and people would show up for those. But then when it wasn't, when there's a lull, they wouldn't be there. But, if we had watchdog groups that were, continually watching what was going on, we could really take hold of, progression without even having to have, without even having to have elected officials.
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Very good point. Thank you for the insight.
I think a really good thing for everybody to do is just to go on your municipal government website and look for that organizational chart, because it is very powerful. If you were able to walk in, with the mask mandate or anything like that, you could just say, look where I am in this organizational chart. I'm above the mayor, because I'm the member of the public. I'm a member of the public. Yeah.
Right. That's very interesting, Tara. That's very interesting. So, where did you find, would you mind, I know every city's different, where would you find that? Like when you go on the city website? So, because this is good. I like this. I'm going to go on.
So it's not, of course now it's not very visible, but you'd find it in something like an annual report, like a budget report, or, So
you could probably request it too, eh? If you message the city.
Yes.
There you go, guys. If you want to see it, message the city.
I got the Ottawa one and it's shitty. It has the mayor at the top.
Yes, I did that one, Jane. I looked it up and I found that they didn't show it, but and it's funny because I got Ottawa, Illinois, this is the United States, but they have the same thing. The citizens are at the top as well. So I think some of them, they've learned that that it's a powerful thing. Like some people are using it, so they're hiding it. But in reality, all governments are structured this way. Everyone, it's for the people, by the people, created by the people, for the people. Yeah.
Good point. Thank you for that, Tara.
No problem.
Thank you. So there you go, guys. If you can't find it on the website for your city, message them at the city and ask if they can send you, or ask them to send you the org chart, and then you can have a look at it. Okay. Nicole, hi. How are you?
Hey, Rebecca. It's not a question. I just had a thing to report back in terms of my dealings with the superintendent for my school around the rapid antigen test. And it was interesting. So, I kept pursuing it with her. And when I finally got her on the phone and explained to her the liability that she had sort of put herself in with regards to allowing these tests to be distributed at the school, she took an early retirement 2 weeks after that.
Say that again.
So she took an early retirement 2 weeks after our phone conversation, after I'd laid out her liability personally for allowing the rapid antigen test to be distributed at the school.
Right, and you went after her can you want to share with people what your issues were, just so that they know what you were going after her for?
So there were, myself and another parent were quite concerned, first of all, like regarding the insert and the rapid antigen test that was specifically stated that they were not for home use, and that they were to be administered by a qualified healthcare practitioner at a